Everybody, why the fuck was I so zoomed in on the camera? Back at it again, King Kaleb podcast. Take three, because of course, back like I never left. We're doing the QBs this year for 2024. You guys know how I operate now. This dumbass back at it again in the apartment. You guys have never seen it. I haven't done shit, guys, in the time that I haven't been here. Don't worry. But we're gonna do this thing as we do this thing. And new year, new me. I got honorable mentions for you fuck boys. These guys will mostly be undrafted. You know, they might have some upside, like Joe Milton. Pretty much everyone else at their best could be a solid backup quarterback who's smart and knows the system and all that fun shit. Anyway, we got 15. We got Devin Leary out of Kentucky. Went to NC State. All these guys are transfers, which thankfully it shouldn't matter anymore. Stigma, like with the age, like I won't comment on that with Bo or Michael. I don't care. But yeah, Devin is just a solid, always was a solid, just college quarterback. You know, average arm, average mobility. Just nothing flashes. That's why he's not going to be drafted. But he could. I feel like these guys could tear up the UFL. I really. It shouldn't be a insult because you see Matt Corral, who was my number one quarterback in 2022. So take this rankings with a grain of salt. I just went names I know in the UFL. Like that's why I'd watch it more if I just knew who the fuck these people were. Random tangent. Anyway, Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky. He was at Southern Illinois. He started off his career, which is an FCS school, I believe, and then went to West Florida, which I believe is Division III. If they didn't already move up, he won a championship there, which got him to Western Kentucky. You know, fast, quick pace offense. You know, get the ball out quickly to your skill players, Malachi Corley. You know, short little dink and dunks. I just don't think he has an arm to be anything substantial in the NFL, but, you know, might grind his way to a roster spot. Then we got Keenan Slovis out of BYU, which is kind of the opposite. He does have, I would say, I guess, an NFL level arm, just nothing elite, like how the Todd McShays of the world were trying to hype him up as a first round pick years ago. Start off at USC, went to Pitt. Just never transpired for him, unfortunately. Number 12, Sam Hartman. 25-year-old heartthrob over here. Great career out of Wake Forest. Prolific stats, went to Notre Dame. Didn't really have that jump that you'd want. That system in the receiving core, I just don't think was a good fit for him. I don't know. I think he just wanted to go to an elite program name and see how good he can do, but he just doesn't have an NFL level arm. But I feel like his peak is like a Gardner Minshew type backup who can come in and give them a spark. Like really he's doing this, but a good leader. I think he's a smart guy. I think he could be a backup, in this league. And then the ultimate of ultimate project players, we got Joe Milton III out of Tennessee, originally from Beachigan. He has the strongest arm in this class, just pure, I could throw it 80 yards probably, but he just lacks any consistent accuracy. That's why I got a Jamarcus Russell comp. I got a free comp for you guys. And he's a little mobile, but can he read a defense, with that offensive scheme Heupel has? We don't know for sure. That's why, his cons are very, flashy. That's why concerning. That's why he's not in my top 10. So number 10, I got Jordan Travis out of Florida State. You guys know, if you guys are freaks, care about height and weight, there it is. Projection is a 6th to 7th. He could even be undrafted. I could see that because he's coming off of a knee injury that not only ruined his season, but Florida State's. That's a whole other debate there. I guess it would have mattered really. I don't know, probably not. But his pros, he's very good mobile quarterback, good RPO guy, quick release, can run, pretty athletic obviously, but he just lacks the consistent accuracy that you'd want, and just a slow process, or sometimes late on throws. A guy will be open, he still holds the ball a little too late. So, just nothing elite arm wise. That's why we got a Trace McSorley comp. His days from Penn State, their best was like, one quick hitch. I know who I'm throwing it to. Throw it up to, Keon Coleman for Jordan's sake, or like a Chris Godwin for Trace's sake. So, player comps aren't usually one for ones. They're just, I like to do them for fun, but I thought that was a pretty solid one, if I do say so myself. Unlike this one, Talia Tagovailoa out of Maryland. Again, 6th or 7th round. He'll probably be undrafted too, though. I'm more high on him than most people are. I've been seeing. I just think, with his brother being in the league, and how smart of a player he is, I think he might have a better track of being a backup and jumping around the league. Player comp. Let's just get into it. I was thinking of a guy who plays like a gunslinger. Runs around, throws it, tries to push the ball downfield, and but like doesn't have an elite arm, like doesn't have the arm to be a gunslinger, but still acts like it. So I was thinking Taylor Heineke, maybe even a Josh Dobbs, Seneca Wallace, even if we want to go back to the 2000s, which you'll see. So I kind of like those comps more, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But, I stuck with Heineke because, fuck it, I just wanted to get the slide done. Very good quick release, pretty good ball placement, good accuracy for the most part. Doesn't put the ball in terrible places, but he does have bad decision making at some points, trying to fit it into positions that he might not be able to throw it to. And, some footwork that could be cleaned up on. But I think he has some skills, some shot with the IQ that he has. But number 8, we got Michael Pratt at Tulane. Probably the highest high-end backup to me. Like, I could totally believe that he'd be a 10-year journeyman backup, Fitzpatrick of the world, Minshew. I like him a little, almost way more than them, but he doesn't have this elite arm, but it's definitely NFL level. Very good accuracy though, throws with anticipation, good ball placement. Doesn't you're not going to see boneheaded interceptions. Nice grit, toughness, good leader. Team rallies around him, which you gotta. In some aspects, that is a pro that you should look at. But he does have a slow release, which, I mean, I'm not really too concerned about people's releases. Just throw it how you want to be, how you're comfortable with it. But sometimes that could mess up with timing, and like the ball comes out a little bit late. I got a Kenny Pickett comp because I do think he has a ceiling, just like I did with Kenny, but I'm thinking more Pitt Kenny than Steelers Kenny, because he had his inefficiencies with that offense, but I do think he was limited, and with the offensive play calling, and didn't get developed properly by the bad guys that are thankfully gone. But yeah, I like Pratt a lot. He could be the Brock Purdy of this class, where it's like we just think he might be a middling backup, the casual, but I think he has all the tools to potentially be a low-end starter too. Like a guy that you're not scared, like, oh fuck, we got Michael Pratt's coming in now, So yeah. Going to a guy I like, to a guy I love, and Spencer Rattler out of South Kakalaka. If I was really bold about it and I wanted to be Chris Sims and just completely biased and not care about other aspects, he'd probably be 5th, probably 4th for honestly 3rd, maybe. But I'm trying to calm the hell down, as an evaluator and really be professional somewhat, just I'm not trying to stand out just to stand out, but I do think very highly of Spencer. I always have. He just has elite arm talent, man. He makes any throw you want, and it looks so pretty. He just has perfect form, perfect release. Whether that's a thing that you really care about or not is up to you. I have no problems with that, but he does have really good, precise footwork. Like, it's improved since his Oklahoma days. Good release, quick out. That's just what you want in the NFL. That's what they're looking for. He does lack the consistency though, because sometimes, when he's throwing on the run, it his accuracy dips, and he doesn't have the elite zip, that you'd want, looking just like that you'd want, especially with the deep ball on the run. It will sail, and then, with the pressure thing, evading pressure, sometimes it looks really good. Sometimes he has a clean pocket, but since that line was so terrible last year, he was paranoid, and he'll escape from clean pockets for no reason, and not have a clear open field view. So he can clean up on that, and we don't know for sure if he can consistently read a defense, you know, third, fourth read at the NFL level yet. We just haven't. It's hard for me to translate that and see if he can do it at that level. So I have a Zach Wilson comp, who you guys know. I'm the number one Zach Wilson defender. But it's a gift and a curse for Spencer. That's why he's kind of. That's also why he's lower on my list, because he's not going to have the pressure of a Zach Wilson of being in the first round and potentially being a bust. But at the same time, he's not going to have the chances that a Bo Nix or a JJ will be, because they're more than likely probably going to be first round picks, and you got to hope, at least I will, that he'll be in a good position, with a team, with someone on that coaching staff that's competent and knows how to develop quarterbacks and put them in the best positions, which Zach was not blessed with. But yeah, and he's cleaned up his act, so I don't care about what he did in high school. I don't, if you're digging up 5-year-old baggage when you were 17, you really don't have nothing for me. So yeah, like him a lot. We'll see. As we'll see with Bo Nix, my number 6 quarterback out of Oregon. Got him as a first to second round pick. You hear that the Broncos are high on him, but would they really draft him with the 12th pick? I don't know. And I don't even know, for his sake, if that'd be the best landing spot, because, is Sean Payton really this quarterback guru that they tell us he is? This is going to be a random tangent, but he had Drew Brees, but even Drew was a Pro Bowl level quarterback at San Diego. So it's like, who did he really develop at an elite level? Tony Romo for a year, but even Tony had better years when he was gone. Like, there's just no young quarterback that Sean was with for a long period of time that he developed. So I don't know. And that offense is, I don't know. Like in 2024, I don't know if that offense is still the elite offense that we think the Saints was. So I guess for his sake, even if he does struggle there, if that's where he goes, I wouldn't hold it that much against him. But he's a very polarizing figure to me. Not as polarizing as JJ will be. We'll discuss him later, next. Shocker for you guys, but is it scheme reliant? They talk about his great completion percentage, but it's like it's a bunch of screens and slants and first reads. When the first read is gone, what does he do? He runs around back to Auburn Bo, and it's either a really good play, or like, what the hell, like the ball just hits the ground, or interception in the Pac-12 championship game. Definitely doesn't have the boneheaded mistakes anymore I'll give it to him. You can see that he's a hardworking guy and really wanted to focus on not turning the ball over. But to that extent, it's more conservative, like I said. And you really want to push the ball downfield, but it's like I don't think he has an elite arm. I think it's very fairly average NFL arm, sure, but he's just not pushing the ball enough for me. I don't think he can make all the tight window throws. You just didn't see it also in that Oregon offense, but really good play extender, very athletic, good at the pre-snap. He sees the linebacker creeping that way. Like, okay, let's switch it up. Let's look over here. But I don't know if he can progress a whole NFL defense. That's why we got a Brock Purdy comp, which, depending on how you feel about Brock Purdy, this is either, a great comp or disrespectful. I'm middle of the pack, in my opinion, on Brock Purdy. I do think he has some talent, but I do think it's more of scheme in that system. Like, I just don't like Brock Purdy. He looked terrible on the Panthers, on the Cardinals. Like, I don't think he'd be in these MVP questions if he wasn't on a great offense. And for the sake of Bo, I hope he gets in a good position like him, because I can definitely see it not looking too well, but I can see an offense where he leads it efficiently. So it's not like I think he's some bum, but he just doesn't have the higher end talent that I personally want in a quarterback. Then we got the main event, folks, of this. J.J. McCarthy out of Biachigan, obviously. He's more than likely going first, but I only put second round because Will Levis just paranoid me from last year. Everyone was preaching, convincing me that Levis is a first-round quarterback, top 5, top 4. I'm like, sure, he has a big arm. He runs around. Then he's, second round with his girl drinking mayonnaise in the green room. They keep showing the camera to him, which I didn't get. Why you keep doing that? But he didn't deserve that. But that's why he's second round pick for me. JJ, very. It's funny seeing people's opinions of him. It's either, he's great, he has all this untapped potential and talent, Michigan didn't use him right, or it's, there's a reason why he throws the ball 8 times a game. Obviously, they're scared to throw it. They're hiding his deficiencies. I think I'm in the middle, as unbiased as I can be as an Ohio State fan. You guys know that. I don't hide that shit, but I'm not one of these, dope morons that just, I mean, nowadays our fans hate on everything, so it's kind of, that point's kind of null and void, but, I'm not just going to blindly think a Michigan guy sucks, but from what I want in a quarterback, what he does, I'll do the pros. He, moxie, he spunk, pizzazz, all that shit. Good leader. The team rallied around him. He had control of that team. That's a thing you need. I think that can translate in the NFL. I think people like him. I think he's going to be a really good teammate. And he does have good mobility. The thing with Bo too, which I didn't talk about, is when they're scrambling, they have their eyes downfield. They're still looking for the open guy, which I like a lot. Extending plays, you need that. Very good arm velocity. JJ has made me separate arm strength and arm velocity, like 2 different categories, because people will tell you JJ has good arm strength, but he's not launching the ball 60 yards downfield. It just doesn't happen. He doesn't throw the ball downfield at all, just regardless, because it's just not, he doesn't have the touch, the accuracy to do it, nor the actual arm strength long ways, I don't think. But he has velocity in the sense of making tight window throws. You'll see a couple a game. I'm like, okay, so I think he can make those throws routinely to a certain extent. That Bo, you just didn't see. That's why I I have JJ ahead of Bo. I had Bo ahead of him for a long while, but the more I watch JJ, I'm like, he makes more NFL throws, makes more NFL plays, and runs a more NFL offense that I can see him translating and have a higher ceiling than him. But I do think that they're the both the high end game managers of this class. And I personally don't think game manager's a problem. I loved Alex Smith a lot. Um, Tua, I guess, Brady and Burrow to some extent, are game managers, I'd say. But, um, I don't system quarterback though. That's kind of different, and I think that might be Brock Purdy. I don't know. I'd probably put Brock at game manager too. I think if he just has a good supporting cast, he knows what the hell he's doing. So I think that doesn't need to be a negative thing, and you can win at that level. Just recently with Mahomes, it hasn't been that way, but I think you can have success there. So, and he lacks the progressions. Reading every single guy open. Sometimes, like it's not like he'll make bad throws, like bad mistakes, but it's more like he's too conservative. Like with Bo, it's like there might be a post getting open, but you're not looking that way, and you just get the dump off. So I have a comp as Ryan Tannehill, high end game manager. I just think he has a ceiling compared to the elite guys in this class for me. That's why I have him at 5. Number 4, Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. First to second round pick. I think he'll be more of a second round pick because of the health concerns, which I don't think it's a concern. He's played 2 full years, but I mean it is there, and it has hampered his athleticism. So I get that, but I just think he's a better prospect, and you have been hearing rumblings that he might be a first round pick. So that's why we got it there. I think he has very good arm talent. Obviously, throw it on a rope. Might be the best deep ball thrower of this class. He has very good zip, acceleration, velocity, all that. Not the biggest arm throwing, like 70 yards, but he can make pretty much every throw, I'd say. Very good IQ, smart player, knows the system. I think he can pick up systems well, but just lacks the consistency and the routine throws. Sometimes I feel like he might just get in his head with the misses that he does on occasion, and isn't the best play extender anymore because of the injuries. His accuracy dips, throwing on the run. So the comps, to me, he feels like a traditional 2000s shotgun. Let me, throw it across the yard quarterback, gunslinger, but stay in the pocket type guy. So I was thinking of people. I thought you see the Geno Smith comps. I think that's just lazy. Tua, kind of lazy too, just because they're left-handed. Like I kind of see it because at Alabama, Tua pushed the ball downfield more than he does now necessarily. But he still can throw it to Tyreek. But I just don't think they play the same. He has a wonky release. Shout out to my left-handers, by the way. But he has a very wonky release. That's why we got a Phillip Rivers comp. And then very good deep ball, very good arm. So I was thinking Carson Palmer, those passes to Chad Johnson, Chris Henry all the time. I see that. I think he can be that type of player, in the NFL. And Carson had some very, great year, Pro Bowl years. And Rivers was highly touted for his whole career. So I think that could be his ceiling. And I think that's a very solid, quarterback for, foreseeable future. Just, again, once we keep going with these guys, I think the talent, the elite level just continues to rise with Jaden Daniels out of LSU. A playmaker, the best runner in this class. Obviously, he'll be a top 5 running quarterback when he gets in. Very good accuracy, good touch, good enough arm, not elite, not the biggest in this class. Lacks the zip, especially downfield. It'll sometimes flutter, but I have no concerns with his arm to like deter me from wanting to draft him. Uh, there is concerns about his intermediate pass game. Can he throw in the middle? Just like with JJ and Bo, it's more of a can you are you capable of throwing that, or is it just the offense that you're in that they don't ask of you to do that? And when you got Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas lining up in the slot a lot, running fades, why the hell would you need to throw a 15-yard in route? Just give Neighbors a screen pass, let him take off. I get it, but if that's a concern, I get it. You want to see if he can make all three level throws down the field, but I don't necessarily have a problem with it. But he does have a timing issue. Sometimes it can be a little late on throws, which will end up in incompletions and probably interceptions in the NFL. But in college, sometimes he'd get lucked out or just incompletions. And he'll lack the patience on occasion. If the second read isn't open, he'll just take off instead of staying in the pocket. I think he has pretty good pocket awareness, though, when he's in there and can step up when need be. And player comps, I got Deshaun Watson and Robert Griffin III. Skill set wise, just great talents, dual threat quarterback wise. I think he runs like RG3, but is a more well-rounded quarterback like how Deshaun was. You'll see the Lamar comps. I don't necessarily see it because he doesn't have the arm strength, nor is he the runner that Lamar. I think Lamar's the best running quarterback ever. So I'm just pump the brakes a little bit. But when RG3 wasn't hurt, prime rookie RG3 was a very electric. So I think he can be that way. Slender frame, if you want to have that concern, I get it. But he can just learn how to slide. I don't think he'll be dumb and careless running the ball. But now we got my top two, my elite guys. Damn near 1A, 1B. I just think Kaleb has way less concerns than Drake. But Drake just has elite arm talent. He'll be top 3 pick. Should be. I don't know why he wouldn't be. Again, can throw it 70 yards if you want it. Can throw the out, can throw the in. Can make any throw you want. I just don't know what the big holdup is. I know he has inconsistency issues where it might not look close, but I feel like some people analyze it and overdo it with how severe his misses are. And I feel like they can be cleaned up because he does have choppy footwork at times. Just get him in a system with a coach that knows how to coach him up. I think he's a quick learner. Well, can be a quick learner. And hopefully some receivers that don't drop the ball too. That'd be fine. I got a comp of Jordan Love. I almost had Trevor Lawrence. And, you see Justin Herbert. I just think he does have similar skill sets with his arm and mobility. I think Justin is another one guy that I don't feel comfortable comparing people to. But Jordan Love, I think I'm very highly of him. Elite arm. It had some footwork issues, especially in the beginning of the year. He's cleaned up. Watching Rodgers and seeing how he throws off platform and stuff like that, I think Drake could be in a similar camp like that. Excuse my dumbass brother, like I was saying in the beginning. But number one, I got Kaleb Williams, man. He's just one of the best prospects ever coming out, with, John Elway, Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence. He's up there, playmaking, unbelievable. One of the best. Running around, extending plays, sees the guy 40 yards deep, throws it. Arm angles, he can throw it any way. He can probably throw it backwards if need be. Can make any pass you want. Only con, really, is his occasion to force the ball, playing Superman because your team's down, because your defense sucks and you have an average line. People want him to play a little bit more in structure like a Bo or a JJ, but I feel like he has a better processor than them. He reads the field better than them. To my eyes, so that's not even really lacking to me. And then these other cons, that people make. This is how you know you're good when you got to make up. Well, he paints his nails, and he cried because he lost a game. What? That you really that affects you on the field? You really? I guess, man. If you're really man and macho, the people who say that don't have the amount of talent in their pinky than he does, hating on nail polish. He can get any girl he wants. All right, just look at his IG, look at his girlfriend. You do not compare to him. Uh, crying because he lost a game. Do you not want your star quarterback to care about the game and want to win so you can go to the playoffs? I don't know. Those aren't cons to me, but if you're one of those generic dudes online that think you're tough and shit, go right ahead. But y'all don't know shit, but he's one of the better quarterbacks you can see, and the Bears will get him. Thank you for giving us Fields. And my player comp is Kyler Murray. You'll see the Mahomes comps, but Mahomes is just the best quarterback I've ever seen, so I'm not comfortable just giving that away. Mahomes he's almost Rodgers and Brady, put together in the sense of he has all the talent mixed with the dedication and the brain of understanding what to do on the field, getting what a guy like Reed. So yeah, that's why I give him a Kyler Murray comp, just skill set wise. I guess he does. He also doesn't attack the middle of the field as much as some people would, but I just don't see how that is going to be a problem for him. So this has been my list. A bunch of ramblings. Thank y'all for staying here. And I will be doing running backs tomorrow, receivers, etc., etc. I'll go down the list. Hopefully, I'll give you guys some honorable mentions too if I'm not lazy. But this has been your boy King Caleb here, signing the fuck out.